What's up, guys? I'm Tua Tagovailoa, and you're watching Dolphins HQ.
What is up, Dolphins, and welcome in to Dolphins HQ Extra from the Baptist Health Studios. Short week means a bit of a shorter episode here on HQ, and what a win for the Fins over the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was a tale of two halves, and we'll discuss the Dolphins' resilience and grit from that victory and how it could carry over into the Week 2 matchup against those Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. Let's go.
He's got Hill. That's a touchdown.
And they sack him again. This time it's Sealer.
That's how you win in this league.
The Dolphins have banked 2 years of quality tape on offense in this system, with the most key parts still intact, with Tua, Tyreek, Waddle. The whole gang is still here. But one of the areas of growth outlined by head coach Mike McDaniel all offseason was emphasizing that little bit extra, the ability to take advantage of teams when they overplay all the success this offense has experienced under McDaniel and quarterback and my co-host here on the show, Tua Tagovailoa. First, the best part about the opener is Tua has all of his toys back to play with. After missing one or the other for most of December, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both surpassed 100 yards receiving against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the 7th time they've done that as a tandem in just over 2 seasons. It's always a joy to take a look at the All-22 film after a game, and even better after a victory, and that's what we have here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few of these plays, beginning on offense with a 63-yard completion from Tua to Waddle. And you'll see on this play that Tua has an open Tyreek on the short throw for a first down, but what Tua knew was that he also had the Penguin getting ready to waddle on the other side of the field, screaming across the formation in a spot that would be vacated because of that separation of Tyreek Hill. But Tua has to sell this. He has to be a salesman and force the defense to take the cheese up front. And if you focus on the body language with Tyreek making his break, that little shoulder roll, that little pump fake to that spot, that's the exact moment the safety drives and creates this big lane for Waddle, and Tua did not miss him. Create the overplay, take advantage, and when they don't overplay, make them pay, some would say. That's what Tua did on the Dolphins' very next drive with the 80-yard strike to Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows about Tyreek's speed, but I think it's his nuance as a route runner that really helps him create the space that he can then exploit with that 4.2 speed. Just watch the way he extends this route vertically to put the safety on his heels. It's called pressing the toes. Make him play off their back foot. That creates this window and the smallest angle imaginable for the run after the catch, but that's all a cheetah needs to find pay dirt, baby. And how about some blue-collar football with a bit of a modern twist? This one is all about design and storytelling, kind of like a poker player here. Another great thing about having Tyreek Hill, that's where the defense's eyes are usually going to go first when he's on the field. You got to find 10. So when he runs this orbit arc around the formation and you tie that up with Tua's pivot step footwork, it tells the edge defender that Tyreek might be getting the football, and most times he probably is. But that makes him take one false step up the field. It opens the B gap for just a moment, and that was all Devon Achane needed to find the end zone for the Dolphins' first touchdown of the season. One more from the physical side of the game. The Dolphins excelled throwing the ball down the field, but also had their short yard success, thanks in large part to Jeff Wilson, who did not get his first touch until the 4th quarter of the game, yet he led the Fins in rushing. And Miami went power football with Hefe in the game, and nobody else sets the tone with physicality like Dolphins right tackle Austin Jackson. I don't think this play needs a whole lot of description. Just watch 73 get knocked back off the line of scrimmage and then climb to the second level and go get himself a pancake. Austin ate breakfast all throughout the opener like the Costco guys. Boom, boom, boom. Someone get me a double chunk chocolate cookie. We finished up on the defensive side, though, with back-to-back plays. First, out of the gate here, Zach Sealer completely washes out the guard, and it takes down the tackle in the play as well. And that creates a lane for David Long to hit, and boy, did he do it. You get knockback from Ogba and Campbell, Jordan Poyer fills, just great team football, and they pay it off one play later on 4th down with Ogba, Brooks, Ramsey all working to prevent Travis Etienne from finding the edge on this 4th and 1 run. He reverses field, but when he does, All 11 hats are on the wrong side of the numbers to the field that ETN ran originally to and has to reverse back the other way. But when you watch this play begin to unfold, Jalen Phillips is shot out of a cannon and it forces ETN to bubble his route back behind the quarterback, and those few extra steps was all the Dolphins defense with Jalen Ramsey, with Calais Campbell, with Jordan Poyer. The Dolphins brought the whole gang there to make that big stop on Travis Etienne. What a play, what a series, and what a job from the defense, and what a team win for these Miami Dolphins.
There you go, baby!
Don't it just feel good to get a W off the top of the season? Those are the kind of wins that can galvanize a football team, especially early on in the season. And the Dolphins last year played some tight games against some really good football teams, and outside of the playoff clinching win on Christmas Eve over the Dallas Cowboys, the Dolphins struggled to find victories in those contests. So to get an early season test out of the way with a W in the win column should provide confidence for this Dolphins team, especially heading into a critical Thursday night matchup against the rival Buffalo Bills. In this one, it starts with number 17 in blue. The part of Sunday's game that inspires confidence going into the short week, to me, was the work of Jalen Phillips. 10 months off an Achilles tear, and he's back doing that stuff, crafting a rush plan that produced more pressure as the game went on. But I think it's the way that he rushes that best matches up with how Josh Allen plays the game. One of the more elusive and powerful quarterbacks, tough to get to the ground in the entire National Football League. Rush lane integrity is vitally important. Phillips has a knack for rushing into the tackle's outside shoulder and pushing that shoulder into the pocket, and allows Phillips to contain outside leverage, but also condense the pocket back inside that Allen has to work with. We saw this play out Sunday when Phillips pressured Trevor Lawrence into the waiting arms of outside linebacker Emmanuel Ogbah for that sack before Phillips' sack to close out the game on defense. On the offensive side, I look for the Dolphins' run game to find its footing after a tough start. They ran plenty of two-back personnel, some two tight end personnel. They even had snaps with two backs and two tight ends in the game. And the Bills operate mostly exclusively out of nickel defense. More than 90% of their snaps come from 5 defensive back sets. The reason they do this so successfully has been the steady star talent that is Teron Johnson. But Johnson is not going to be available for Buffalo on Thursday night, so I cannot wait to see what the Bills cook up on a short week without one of their key players. For Miami, they ran some zone, some man. They had a 3-man rotation on Sunday with Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Devon Achane. If the Dolphins can pick up chunks in the run game, it could help open up some lanes in the passing game like the ones we saw in the second half on Sunday. I know that was kind of like drinking some water out of a fire hose for you guys there. I hope your thirst has been quenched, but I hope you enjoyed this edition of Dolphins HQ Extra from the Baptist Health Studios. For more on this game, including some analysis from your Friday morning drive to work, tune into the Drive Time podcast, available 5 days per week, wherever you get your podcast. We'll be back on our regular schedule next week as the Dolphins prepare to travel back to my former stomping grounds, the beautiful Pacific Northwest, to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Enjoy this exciting week of football, and we'll see you guys soon.
He's got Hill! That's a touchdown!
And they sack him again. This time it's Sealer.
That's how you win in this league.